Every single person building a personal brand is looking for the shortcut, the hack, the one thing that is going to make everything click, like literally click faster. And my guest today is living proof that the real shortcut is not a tactic, it is in the transformation. Katie Sampayo is the founder and CEO of Live to Thrive Life and Business Coaching, creator of the 7-Pillar Thrive Method, best-selling author, former ABC TV host, certified trainer, yoga instructor, and nomadic entrepreneur who literally travels the world while running a multi-six-figure business. She went from zero to $750,000 in just 3 years. And she did it not by hustling harder, but by getting radically clear on who she was becoming and building a personal brand that reflected that person before she fully arrived. This conversation is going to hit different for anyone who has felt like they've been building a business at the expense of their life instead of in service of it. All right, let's get into it. You're listening to the Secret Marketing Diary of Personal Brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered. Katie, I am so glad that we're here together. So we recently met, it's been like 3 weeks ago now?
Yep.
You were so amazing and gracious at inviting me into your Millionaire Playbook Summit, which, by the way, everyone listening to this right now, you have to follow Katie when we're done with this because you are going to want to be there on the next round of that summit. But it was incredibly put together and super organized and so much freaking fun. I know we were just talking about this and all of the synergy that all of the speakers had, and I think you and I had as well. And so I'm really excited to dive into first your story because you don't hear people going from zero to what you have gone in a matter of just a few years. So we're just going to start right there because it's completely different than anyone that's come in here. All right.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, who starts a business and is like at $0 and then goes to what, and you can share to where you went that quickly. So we know, and I shared about this before you came on, certified trainer, background, yoga instructor,
Yep.
TV host, right? So from the outside, that's like a super compelling life and sounds fun. But I want to hear, so how did you get to where you are today doing what you are today?
Woo! All right. What do we want? Well, I'll start at the beginning super quick and I'll pivot up. But
Okay.
I did have one corporate job at once in my life, and I did that right after college, like most people do, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help people, and I felt like I needed some more mentorship before I went and did my own thing, but I always knew I was going to have my own thing. And I picked the corporate path only because the person that I was going to be directly working with, I thought that she was one of the best marketing and branding people on the planet. And I was like, I need to learn from her. And literally, I didn't care about the industry at all. It was subprime lending.
Oh,
It was horrible. Like I could have cared absolutely less about like the
that's so
product or the top.
boring.
It was so boring. But I took it because like my boss was a year and a half older than me, and she was just like so good at branding and marketing. And we were working in the marketing department. I was like the marketing coordinator or something was like the name of the role. And, quickly I got out of there. I think I was only there for about a year and a half, and I became a personal trainer and I entered the fitness world, and that's where all that began. And I built that up and I doubled my salary for myself in 6 months from what I was already making in corporate, just doing things on my own. And that was like my first taste of entrepreneurship, really, like taking the leap, deciding to build my own path. And I did that for a while. And then I started a retreat company after that because I wanted to be able to travel and make money. And that's really where that came from. And I didn't know how to do the online business thing really yet. Everything I was doing at that time was in person. So then that led to that. I did that for many years. I was running 5 trips a year all over the world and making multiple 6 figures doing that. And I built that into a 6-figure company in a year. And then from there, COVID hit. Fast forward. And it stopped everything. and it forced me to pivot and actually become the person that I was meant to be and shift the career where I was already seeing that I wanted to go deeper with clients at these experiences. Cause it's like some of them would come on 2 or 3 a year. Like that's how good they were because they wanted to stay in the energy of what we were doing. It was still transformational leadership work while having
Mhm.
fun. We were surfing, we were hiking, we were exploring, and we were getting really clear on who they were and what their next level of their life got to look like. So it was this mixture of pieces. And of course, then everybody who came was growth oriented. So they were in a community that was really different from maybe the people that they were surrounded with at home. And
Mhm.
when they came on those experiences, they felt this relief and they felt like people finally understood them. They were feeling very understood. Like no one gets my drive. No one gets my ambition. Nobody gets that I don't want to live in like suburbia and just do nothing all day and work this 9 to 5, like no one's getting that I want to go adventure and just because they weren't in that tribe at home. So they found their tribe. And that's why we call ourselves the Thrive Tribe.
Yeah.
Um, and I just could see, I'm like, oh, the next level of this business is actually bringing the community together more than just a week and having it
Yeah.
be consistent and then integrating in a growth plan, all these things would open up. Like usually when you go through retreats, they're intensive, immersive experiences, like you bust open, right? And then
Mhm.
some people are feeling like a deep depression after that because they're on such a high
Yeah.
when
And
they're
then they
there.
come to like real
And you
life.
and it all can come crumbling down and it's like
Yeah.
it's actually a little bit it's kind of scary, right? So I also felt a responsibility like, oh, I got to take care of my people, like because that's actually what's happening. But
Mhm.
I was scared to change my model. I was scared to completely build essentially a new company from the ground up. I was just staying busy by doing more and more and more retreats. Like this is what we
Right.
do. We just stay busy. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a doer. You don't have a problem with doing. We're usually just doing too much. And that's mainly the issue. So I just stayed distracted by, oh, another retreat and oh, another one. And oh, because I could
Mhm.
sell them out, making multiple six figures, whatever. And then the world shut down.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, enough hiding from what you actually know you get to do. I'm so
Right.
grateful for that moment. Like I needed that disruption to pivot and I mean, I looked at it in a really positive way. Of course it had a lot of pain points, but that's growth.
Right.
And that's where, there was a year of me figuring it out, like I think
Mhm.
I hired 4 or 5 coaches in that year to learn different things and figure all this. And that's actually the year that I learned how to run a summit, which is then now you experience Millionaire Playbook with me. But I
Yeah.
learned that 5 years ago and talking about building my company, the coaching company I have from nothing, no, not one coaching client, 5 years ago to we just made $200,000 in cash this month, dude.
That's
Like
awesome.
we just hit a company
Amazing.
record. I've never made that much in a month. We've usually made like 150, 160, but like I wanted to hit it and we did. And I was just I saw it this morning because it's July 1st when we're recording
Right.
this. And I was like, what happened? And that's cash collected. And I was just like, wow, 5 years ago, like that was my year.
Mhm.
My first year in business doing this, I did make 195. So I went from 0 to 195,000 in my first year running this company. But there was a year where I didn't make anything. So I also want to be like clear. There was a year where I didn't make anything because I lost my business, but it created like this urgency, like I gotta
Yeah.
and I was just investing. I invested about $25,000. I wiped out my entire savings account for all the different coaches that I hired in that time frame.
Mhm.
And that I went through like 2 or 3 of the different programs I bought, and I didn't even finish them because I learned quickly that I didn't want to do it. Like I took like, like it was an investment for me to learn that I didn't want that
That I
path.
don't want that.
So like I didn't beat
Yeah.
myself up. I was just
Right.
like, okay, well, that was a great investment because I just saved 6 months of time. from figuring out, because I was going to go down like this health coaching path or something. And so I bought like a health coaches something. And the minute I started doing it, I'm like, but I don't think I really want to be known as like a health coach. Like I just got clear. And I think this is where a lot of people get stuck. Like they invest in things and they think it's supposed to be the savior or something. And I'm like, no, every step is just about clarity.
Right.
Like you don't stop investing because it didn't work out. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
more like it did work out because it got you clear that that's not the
Yep.
direction to go in. And also like whoever's listening, if you ever felt like this or you're feeling like this, get unattached to needing to finish things if they're out of alignment.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Like if I read a book and I start to read the book and the book sucks and I'm really not getting anything out of it, I don't feel this need to validate that I'm a successful person by forcing myself to finish the
To
book.
finish it.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean I'm a
Yeah.
failure or I'm bad or I'm inconsistent or I'm not a, whatever stuff. It's like, no, it's called, it's not actually serving me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to finish the
Yep.
book. I'm not going to finish the program. And something that because I've coached a lot of people through it, because then there's also this guilt around, well, I put this money in and the shame around it, or, it's like there's such relief in being able to like just let it go. And then you reset your mindset where it's like, no, like that investment was so smart because
Right.
now in 30 days, I quickly figured out that I don't want to do this and I'm just going to pivot and then give myself the freedom to choose, well, what do I want? Like I'm
Yeah.
not in a holding cell now because of that.
So true. Yep. I went through a very similar experience too, when COVID hit. I
Okay.
still, I had my agency since 2009, but I was like really sick of working with some of the clients that I was working with. And I was only working with them because I felt like I had to, and they were already
Uh-huh.
with me. But when COVID went and everyone shut down, they shut down. And I'm like, although it was like a really scary moment, I was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, this is like new beginnings. I can actually start from scratch and build
Yeah.
back up. So yeah, absolutely. And the same thing, I invested tons in coaching like throughout those first 2, 3 years. And I kind of pivoted. And then, we still run the agency, but completely different clientele now. And now I'm doing what I really love, which is actually like mentoring and consulting in small group containers. So yeah,
There you go.
similar. So
Alignment.
um alignment, exactly.
Mm.
Totally. So I want to talk about because obviously we talk a lot here about building a personal brand and secrets behind that people don't really talk about. And so I want to talk about the personal brand piece here with you, because I think that where many people get it wrong is they have made this decision to build something, and then they haven't like fully stepped into this new identity, which has to
Uh,
do a lot with alignment or
yeah.
misalignment actually.
Yep.
So tell me about how did yourself, as you, as Katie, the personal brand, play into all of this?
Well, I teach identity work
Mhm.
and I'm constantly doing it on myself. So it was a new identity to become somebody who is $1 million business owner, I've always lived a very different lifestyle. So like something from a personal branding standpoint, as far as like, what do I think makes me different?
Mhm.
And when I think people are confused about like their personal brand, it's really just think about what makes you unique, what makes you different, and how can you showcase that. My lifestyle's super crazy. I'm nomadic. I've been nomadic for
Yep.
9 years. Like I'm a woman who travels the world. I live in different places whenever I want, it now it's so normal to me, but I have to keep reminding myself. I'm like, no, people don't like do stuff like this. Like I've been doing it for
Yeah.
9 years and I have no intention of stopping. And
Uh-huh.
it's not like I'm not running from anything. I'm just super clear with the lifestyle that I want to live and the environments that make me really happy. And that's what I've done. My personal branding is a lot around freedom, because
Mhm.
when I got to the core of what are my core values of a person, as a person. And then I built my core values into my company. And then I make sure that everybody that I hire within my company is in alignment with these core values and my core mission. Everything comes from me. Like,
Right.
like my core values are mobility. My core values are freedom. My core values are family and also legacy wealth.
Mhm.
So I had to get clear with myself, like what makes me me, and like if I were to just get down to the nuts and bolts of what drives me and what's really important for me to experience and feel in my life, then that gets
Mhm.
to become what I express through my marketing. That gets to become what, when someone does any sort of experience with me, whether it's retreat, whether it's a summit, a millionaire playbook, a coaching program, your personal brand is also creating a certain experience that people feel when they get in the room.
Right.
And I think it really comes from getting clear on those core values. Like I want people to feel freedom. My other one is fun. Like you said, you had a lot of
Mhm.
fun on like that. That's a
Yeah.
core
So fun.
pillar, you
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
but that's built into my lifestyle. So then it's built into my experiences. I hope that my marketing comes off that way, when I do the social media and all of that stuff, because that's the feeling I want people to get when they step in any room that I'm leading.
Mhm.
And, it took me time to just get to know who the heck I was, like I think a lot of people at the beginning when you're pivoting in any major area of your life, whether you're pivoting your business model, you're pivoting a relationship, that's the time to take a step back and re-ask yourself some of these really simple, really basic, yet really hard questions about what do you want? And
Yeah.
what drives you, and we help our clients with that. That's what we do with our total thrive method formula. It's the first thing we do when we have a client. It's about, okay, you're in a pivot before you start 12 months of coaching with us. We need to get your core value system down so that when we build a lifestyle and then we build a business, it's really in alignment with where you're at now. Because my
Mhm.
core values 10 years ago are completely different than that.
Different, 100%. Yeah,
You
we
know?
evolve,
Yeah.
like,
It
every day.
happens all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, is that the 7-pillar thrive method?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
we call
tell
7 pillars, total
7
thrive, same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. So, tell me a little bit about that so we can understand that framework behind those results.
Yeah, so when I built my company, and when anyone builds at least a coaching company, in my opinion,
Mhm.
you've got to have a methodology that people can latch onto. They've got
Yeah,
to be able to understand, okay, when I do this work with this person, I'm going to experience results in these different parts of my business or these different parts of my life. So
mhm,
these are what I've developed when I'm like, okay, when someone goes through an experience with me, I want them up leveling in these different areas. And if they're not, then we got a problem. We got a code red. At least we can laser focus in and be like, what's in the gap? What's happening over here? So I developed them from, like I said, my core values, my core mission of, because my company is live to thrive and I'm all about
right.
thriving and living a next level epic life and epic business and everything gets to be epic, like that's just how I like to run. So we have health and wellness, of course. Start off in the fitness industry. I prioritize
Mhm.
my health a lot. Like I work out every single day. Like it's a non-negotiable. It's built into my identity. But so if you're not feeling good, you're not going to operate at a high level. We all know it. Like everything's connected,
Yeah,
but that's a value of mine. Then we have relationships. I break relationships into 4 categories. I don't think they're created equally. I think you have a love life. I think you got a family life, which is not always your love life. I think you got
right.
you as an individual, and then you got your friends, and they're
Mhm.
either in alignment and you're propelling forward, or you're getting held back in those areas. And relationships I've found, I've had to watch myself to not step into being a relationship coach, but um, you know, that's what I feel. Most people are in like the biggest pain points with their relationships,
Yeah.
whether it's a relationship with the team member and they're just ignoring having the really difficult conversation to let them
Mhm.
go because we're emotionally attached to people. And it's the same thing like
I've been
if you're
there.
dating someone.
Yep.
Yeah, I've totally been there. It's been like my biggest growth in my business is like, how do I let people go faster? because I believe
Yeah.
in people so much that I'll drag the relationship out and be like, I'll just keep coaching them to success. And it's like, they either got it or they don't sometimes, and that's okay. But it's
Yeah.
not really the most fun conversation to have. But it's like, well,
It's not.
it's challenging. So, like, we walk through a lot of these types of conversations with our clients because more as soon as they have that hard conversation and they make that challenging decision, then all of a sudden the money starts coming.
Right.
Like, because then now they're in alignment and they don't have this
Mhm.
yucky energy in the place anymore. So we do relationships. One of my pillars is fun and adventure.
Mhm.
Core pillar. That's why we have built-in retreats into our programs where we meet twice a year in person and we have fun and we dance and we, do cool stuff, jump off cliffs and surf and, you know, whatever. Like, we do things that I don't know, you might traditionally do, but most of my clients, they don't. They're not doing it a lot. Like they're doing these,
Right.
so it's kind of like we did karaoke. It was so much fun here in Mexico. And like we all just like we take this stuff for granted, like doing karaoke, having like s'mores on a campfire, sitting in the hot tub with a glass of wine. Like you kind of forget about
Yeah.
those moments when you're just hitting a goal and you're so driven that
Mhm.
at this point, if we don't priority focus fun in our lives, it might be an afterthought and it might literally just never happen.
Right.
Like, is it built into your life or not? So I
Well,
talk
I
a
was
lot
gonna say,
about that
but those things should be built into your life. But I know not many people actually prioritize
because they
those
are too
types of things.
busy, because they have too many things on their to-do list, because
Yeah.
they're not. So, the biggest shift that helped me hit a million, just to kind of
Mhm.
go off for a second,
Yeah.
uh, was that I finally started taking a week off a month.
Mm.
And my coach told me this for my first 3 years in business. So I've been working with the same coach for 5. She's what's helped me get to her mentorship has helped me get to 5 or helped me get
Mhm.
to a million in less than 5. But she kept telling me, you're too busy. Like and you're a bitch. You're a bitch. No, I'm serious. Like you're a bitch. You're too busy. No one wants to work with you because you're so intense
Yeah.
because you're not having fun. And when you have fun and you surf and you do those things, you're like the best person on the planet and everyone wants to be around you. And you're so good at enrolling people into vision because like you have a big vision, you have a really good energy, but your energy turns nasty when you're
Mm.
not having fun. And a lot of women need to hear what I'm saying right now because they're
Yeah.
stuck in what I'm saying. And I had all these beliefs like, but how are you telling me that I'm going to be able to take a week off when I can't breathe right now? When I already feel like
Right.
I'm dropping the ball. Like when I already feel like I'm in a fire drill 24/7 and like I'm not a failure. I'm going to hit like we get stuck in this and you can't
Yeah.
see it. And she said, can you just for once in your life take my coaching and just do it anyways? And yeah, it's going to be messy. And yeah, there's going to be problems. And trust me, there'll be breakdowns. I,
Mhm.
she's like, but just take 2 days off then a month, like during the week. And that's where I started. And there was a bunch of shit that went wrong, right? And so then I was like, see, she's like, we already told you this was going to happen. It's because you haven't built the structure to support without you yet, because you haven't allowed that to be built because you can't stop controlling everything. She's like, how are you
Yeah.
going to get to $1 million with you being the bottleneck to everything in your company? And what's going to
Mhm.
happen, Katie, when you want to get married and you want to have children? And that's built into your pillars. So what's going to happen when you actually want to have that in your life? Because you might not want that right now, but you're going to want it in a few years. Well, I'm in my few years and I want it this year. So and she was right. So 2 years ago, I was like, I got to get out of my own way. I'm like, I do want to probably get married in 2 years. I do want to probably have a kid in 2 years from this point. Fast forward, it's 2 years now. And
Mhm.
I don't want to build a company that completely relies on me for everything. Because, yeah, I can work a lot right now because I don't have all those other things. But what's going to happen when I do? And I just started thinking about how about I build the company like I'm going to be pregnant in the next year?
Mm.
And if I start making decisions like that, like I'm going to be pregnant, I'm going to be married in the next year. How would I run
Yeah.
my business differently? How would my schedule look different? What decisions would I be making right now so that this can be real in 2 years? And I'm laying the infrastructure. And that vision, this is what, like, we always start with vision, like,
Yeah.
woo, completely changed everything. And then I went to what, like $950,000 or something. And then, we are committed to hitting, I want 4 million. So I'm doing a pretty big stretch goal this year
Yeah.
because I believe in
Well,
10xing
you're
your
at 200.
goals.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're at, oh no, you said you hit 200,000 this month, right? Is
Yeah,
that what you
like in
said?
in
Yeah.
cash. Yeah.
So
So that's not
yeah.
that's not been the norm. Like now it's like, and I want to have a $500,000 event
Mm-hmm.
in November. Like, so I'm clear on different things that are going to
Yeah.
happen. And it's more just like I'm just committed. I think more than anything, and this is where I keep catching myself, is like I'm committed to doing it differently.
Yeah.
Like I can make a lot of money and I can work a lot and I can stay up all night and I know how to do all that. But I really want to honor the boundaries that I've set for myself over the last two
Mm-hmm.
years and be respectful of that and not get into a pattern of going defaulting back, right? Like sometimes we default
Right.
back to like just
Yep.
to get the job done, you start defaulting back
Mm-hmm.
to however you got the job done before. And it's like, no, 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 that's the old identity.
Yeah.
And this is what I say I'm committed to. So how do I get to show up over here like that? And like that's the constant thinking that I'm always doing. It's what I coach my clients into. This is what
Yeah.
I do with my clients. Like, and it's what helps me not just make more money, but I want to feel better every year. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be healthier every year. I want to have really big personal wins that are evolving as well as business wins every single year. And I think that's what our, pillars, that's what they help our clients focus on too, because there's one pillar is financial freedom, but the rest are pretty much about their personal life.
Right.
So if your personal life is working most of the time, then your money situation is usually good too, is what I've
Right.
found. But it's when the personal life is broken, like your
Mm-hmm.
health is broken or your marriage
Mm-hmm.
is breaking or you're fighting with your children, that's when it bleeds everywhere. Like the most, it's the most disruptive.
Yeah, and actually, and I was gonna say, because now that you're talking about this, um, you being a nomadic entrepreneur, which I love, and I'm gonna get to this first, but think about this for a second too, because I want to come back and ask you. I want to know like what daily life in Katie's life is like from the time you wake up until you go to bed. I want the day in the life of Katie.
Okay.
But okay, so you're traveling the world,
Yep.
right? And I know that you live in several, I mean, all over the place, like
Places.
every so often. But for a lot of people that are going to hear this and they're like, well, that just doesn't seem realistic for me because obviously that if that's their what they want to do.
Yeah.
But if you have kids, you have obligations, you have a team, what is the principle behind that lifestyle or that lifestyle design that makes it work regardless of someone's specific circumstances?
Well,
What would you
first
say?
I think you need to want it. Like so
Obviously.
I met someone surfing yesterday and he
Mhm.
he was asking me about what I do, right? And I'm like, okay, let me get, I don't want to, I help women create lifestyles they love and make money. And I just kind of, and then he's like, so like, he's like, oh, he's like, so is that how, you've been able to like live here? And I've seen you surfing a lot. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I've been doing this for like 9 years. And he was like, oh man, I wish I could do that. And I said, well, you can. And he said, well,
Mhm.
I have a family, but I have kids and I have a job back there. And I said, well, do you want to be here? And he's like, yeah. And I said, first, it starts with making a decision around vision of alignment and what you actually want. And I think most people are afraid to actually get clear on what they want because that means change most of the time.
Yeah.
So like it means an uncomfortable conversation with a family member. It means
Mhm.
pulling money out of your 401k to fund the next thing. It means, like there's usually a hard decision that gets to be made on the other side of being really honest with yourself. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't think everyone needs to travel the world, but like I already know, and I've been very clear with dating, like I will continue to live a mobile lifestyle because it's my core value. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna like budge on that. And I just have gotten very, very clear. And it doesn't mean that I gallivant around. I have 20 people that work for me. Um, I, I got a lot going on from a business perspective. I don't want to be dysregulated no, I'm grounded. I'm here for 6 months a year. And I do little trips when I want to the States, to
Mm-hmm.
Europe. Or if I do go somewhere, I go for a month or two. I don't do week long. No, no, no. That's not how I work because I, it doesn't align with me being able to hit my goals if I'm like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I did make a choice that if I want to live in a place, what makes me happy? Warm weather, the sun, and surfing in warm water with no crowds. So where do I need to go live? Well, I need to go live in Cabo, which is where I'm at. What do I like to do in the winter? I like to snowboard for at least 2 full months a year, which means I get at least 30 days on the mountain in. And I want to do it in deep powder.
Yeah,
So where do I get to go live? Oh, I go to Utah and I stay in Salt Lake City for 2 to 3 months. Like
amazing. Yeah,
it's about like what kind of lifestyle do you want to live and then just make the decision like, well, maybe it's not spending 7 months a year there, but maybe you and your family could do a month and that would be
right.
amazing. And it would be so great to have your kids surf and run on the beach or learn how to ski or snowboard like that. And you don't feel the pressure of being there for a week. You can settle down, you can integrate, but you got to make that decision first of like, is this the vision that I want for my life and for my family? And then start, just taking little steps so that it becomes a reality. It doesn't have to be like, I'm just
Right.
going to like sell everything I own. Some people do that, but it's not
Yeah,
necessary, you know?
yeah. I think the main thing is people are just scared to have that conversation,
Yeah.
um, especially when there's a partner involved.
Yep.
It's a big deal. Like
Hmm.
my husband and I, we went to Costa Rica last year, and I have a friend that moved there, and we keep talking about moving to Costa Rica.
Okay.
We freaking love it over there, but then we start thinking about the kids and this
Mm.
and that, and then it's like you pull back and
Yep.
um I'm a very spontaneous person. Like I'm like if you tell we're ready, I'm ready to go. Whereas you have the other personality and also he works in corporate, so it's a little different. But it's again, it's like having that conversation and being
Yep.
honest with yourself first and then being honest with other people
Yeah.
around you
Especially if
that are
you have a partner, like you
right.
got, like when you're in a relationship, it's also remembering that you are two individual people that are just making a conscious choice to come together. And
Mhm.
you're not going to 100% probably desire all of the same things in life,
No.
but you have similar core value systems or you wouldn't be together.
Right.
And like constantly putting yourself in a position to have those honest conversations is, I think, just the most important, crucial thing that you can do on the planet. And that's how all of a sudden maybe you don't just move to Costa Rica, but then you
Right.
figure out a way because it really matters to you to be able to spend a
Mhm.
month there a year or 90 days there a year. And then actually, I had one of my coaches, she moved to Panama with her husband and 2 kids for six
Mhm.
months from Canada. And it was a huge thing because she'd been wanting to do it for years, but the kids and the school and like, cause she has little, all those
Yeah.
things that you just talked about.
Yeah.
And they just really they had to keep enrolling themselves together. Like, but this is why we want to do this with our kids. And this is
Right.
how our lifestyle, because in Canada, like, it's cold. Like they can't be running around and like the kids got surf lessons and they found a great jungle school, like one of the best jungle schools in Panama. And like they
That's
decided to
cool.
move to that area. And,
Mhm.
but it was really scary. I remember her talking to me and I was helping her through it. She was just like, Katie, I'm so scared to like make this move and this is crazy. We've never done something like this before, but
Yeah.
6 months later, they made it happen. You know what I mean? And that was really cool to see because it does take a lot of courage. And, they had people in their
That's
family
courage.
saying
That's the
stuff,
thing. Courage. Yes.
courage
Yeah.
to just be honest and do it.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. So walk me through your day. Like, what is your day like?
Okay. I wake up at 6.
Such a
Okay.
random question, I know, but
No, it's
whatever.
actually really interesting to hear how people operate. Um, so I wake up at 6. I naturally wake up at 5:30, but I don't like to get up. I like to sit there
Uh-huh.
for 30 minutes. And I literally get in the car and I go surfing. I don't drink coffee in the morning. I don't do anything. It takes me 5 minutes. I walk out the door. Like I'm that kind of person. Literally, I just go and I can't stand dating
I love
guys.
it.
For some reason, I tend to date guys that have a 2-hour morning routine. And I'm like, you don't even
What?
like wear makeup and you don't have hair. Like, I don't
How does that
understand.
happen?
They gotta poop for 2 hours or something and have their coffee. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I just want to go to the beach. So like I wake up, I drive 40 minutes to go surfing every morning. And it's on a back road. The only thing I see are cactuses and cows. There's zero traffic. And I usually drive with zero music and zero sound. So in the morning, I just think and I think. And that's
Yeah.
my ride out there. And then I surf for about an hour and a half, feel great. I see my people hey, JJ, hey, this, hey, that. I got my crew. And that usually gets me in a really good mood. And then I drive back and I listen to a podcast or I
Mhm.
listen to an audiobook. And this is how I start my day. And almost never will I schedule a meeting before 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. is
Mhm.
pushing it. So I really
Yeah.
like to start my day at 11 a.m. From a
Mhm.
meeting perspective, I I eat I only eat after surfing. I don't eat anything in the morning. I'm not hungry. I usually eat around 11 or 1. And then I'm in meetings all day, it seems.
Yeah.
I'm coaching, I'm on Zoom,
Uh-huh.
and then I love being the Pacific time zone too. Like I hate being on Eastern time. I'm up
Yeah.
so late on calls as a result. So like usually I'm off calls by like 5
Mhm.
Pacific. And then I decompress. It's not always like that. Sometimes I'm on calls still, whatever.
Yeah.
And go out to dinner, this or that. I play tennis. I'm playing tennis tomorrow night. I've been playing tennis my whole life. And,
Fun.
I love going out to nice meals. I'm bougie like that. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's really like my regular life. And I always plan my day the day before. So before I move into the next day, we made my own planner. This is my planner.
Oh, cute.
I love
I
this
love
thing.
it.
5 years in the works finally happened. And so I fill out my own thing, right? For 90
Uh-huh.
days or 90 days at a time of like what's going to happen tomorrow? What are my top 3 focuses? And I brain dump because my brain, a lot of
Yeah.
entrepreneurs struggle with this, like moves 1,000 miles an hour. Like you have
Yep.
and if I've found if I don't just get it out somewhere centralized, then I can't sleep. Like I'm anxious and I'm thinking about it and
Yeah.
it's bugging me. So I do not shut down until I feel like I have everything out of my head. I don't watch
Mhm.
TV. The TV's on the floor, thrown in a corner right now. Um, I study a lot. I'm kind of obsessed with working, so I just start studying other things, and I'm working on things that are interesting to me before I go to bed. To be honest with you, like I think a lot of people
Yeah.
say don't do that. I have zero problem falling asleep exactly when I want to fall asleep because then I'm done.
Right.
But I don't like watching television like some people do to cool down because then I
Mhm.
binge.
That's me.
So if I do, I'm up till 3 in the morning watching like episode. And that's why I'm like, no, I need to unplug that thing. Like I'll only do it on a Friday night when I don't have to I don't like Saturdays is my free day, right? Like to just really do absolutely nothing if I felt like it. So I'm like, no, I can't just watch like an episode because then I'm going to be up till 1 or 2 in the morning.
So let
And
me
then
unplug it.
I just unplugged the damn thing and it's across the room right now. And I only plug
That's
it in on the
hilarious.
weekend. And I'm like, it's like a treat. It's like when I sit down, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a movie night with
That's so
myself.
funny. I
And I,
love
and I
that.
get really excited about it because I can't do it during the week. I don't know how people do it during the week. Like I literally would get no sleep. Like, cause I don't have control with it. Like
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like I know I understand where I don't have control. Like this is why I've never done drugs. I know that's like crazy, but like I've smoked some weed, I've done things. I'll just be like, but I've never
Yeah.
done hard drugs in my life. I've never even taken an Adderall pill. And the reason why I haven't is because I'm like, I think I would like that shit too much.
Right.
So I'm like, I just don't want to go near it. I
That
know
is
my
hilarious.
personality, like, so I make
It's
decisions.
intense. It's intense. It's hardcore. It's like,
Yeah. Like, I'm going to just leave that stuff. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I get my fix from surfing and from coaching and from snowboarding or whatever. But, like I know my vices. So I'm very good at keeping things in moderation or just cutting them out completely and not getting
yeah.
involved. So there's my daily life.
So that was so good. Oh my God. My cheeks are like hurting right now from you, from you
Like, I don't know
unplugging
what
the
we're allowed to talk
television.
about on this, but I just went there. So
No, it was awesome. This is what it's about. So, okay. Three quick questions. Um, do you know where you're moving next?
where am I going next officially? I don't actually know the answer to that question. I'm hoping to meet my
Okay.
husband soon, and then I'm going to go wherever the heck we decide. So I'm an open bird, and open bird, open book. It's because I stay here through October. That's my plan. I have
Yeah.
some speaking engagements in the States that I'll be flying into the States to do. And then I have my own Millionaire Playbook Live will happen in Atlanta, Georgia in November. So that'll
Oh,
be,
cool.
I'm just finally having a moment to breathe and start getting into it. But that's for sure happening. And then I have no idea what I'm going to do after that. Like, I don't know what
Okay.
the rest of November or December looks like. I think I'm going to go back to Japan for a month in January, and then I go to Utah for 2 months typically. And that's been my little, so I got like November and December free,
Mhm.
and I'm going to see what happens.
Okay. So and my
You know,
next question was going to ask you, when is the next Millionaire Playbook Summit?
so virtually it's going to be in September, and we're going to do it
Okay.
like how we did it for you, 2 days. It's going to be the week after Labor Day, like the 11th or something. I think September 11th, whatever
Uh-huh.
that Thursday and Friday is in September. And
Cool.
then we are doing it live in person in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just secured the location. We can fit 200 people
Nice.
there. And I am priority focusing that over the next 30 days to get that organized. But that'll be like, that was my biggest goal of the entire year, was to
Yeah.
build my own live stage like that. And I run events all the time. I mean, Retreat Company is an event company, but it's never been like 200 people in a room. You know what I mean? Like, that's a
Yeah.
whole different thing that
Yeah.
I just want to
It's another
challenge
level.
myself. Yeah. So I'm starting with some smaller events leading up to it in person to work through the kinks. There's going to be kinks. I understand that by
Yeah.
now. And then by the time we do that event, and there'll still be kinks when we do that event, but
Mhm.
it will be something exceptional.
That's
So
exciting.
yeah,
Congrats. Why Atlanta? Are you
thanks.
from Atlanta originally?
I'm from
Or
Baltimore,
no?
Maryland.
Oh,
So
you're from, okay.
I'm only doing Atlanta because I have a client who had the space through
Oh,
her job.
perfect.
And she said this, she's like, Katie, you got to check this space. And she just kept saying, Katie, you got to check. And it's a really cool, very unique looking space that most people don't have access to. And she was able to get me access to it actually like the craziest discount too. And,
That's
and that's,
awesome.
and plus it's easy to fly in major
Yeah,
airports, you know,
totally.
so I don't have an attachment to Atlanta, Georgia. It was more just, the location, the
That's a
hardest part.
great place though. There's
Yeah,
so many business people there too that
exactly. That could
locally.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was so fun. And I know that we totally went off road, but I love that we do. This is why I like keep it very conversational. I tell everyone that comes on. So I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad that we connected. We're going to share all the details of how people can connect with you below in the show notes. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, everyone. We will see you on the next one. Bye. You're listening to the Secret Marketing Diary of Personal Brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered.